Hi, my name is Jennifer Mcknew, and I'm here to speak to you about my experience taking a CG Pro course, specifically the Unreal Engine for Filmmakers course. A little bit about me, high level. I'm a senior 3D artist, a generalist, as well as a 2D artist and designer. I have a comprehensive background working in feature film visual effects and animation, and I've also worked in broadcast television on several projects. I've also spent a considerable amount of time working in the tech sector on numerous projects. I've worked on over 40 films that cover the aesthetic gamut, from photorealism to more of an aesthetic, stylized project. And what inspired me to take this course was a couple things. A, I wanted to learn new software. I wanted to be up to speed with Unreal Engine. It had been about time. But I also wanted to create a short film. And what inspired me was my particular project was named Sydney and Socket. And it was kind of inspired by the COVID era where we were all having to be isolated from one another. So the film was about instilling hope in moments of solitude. But I also wanted to find a dynamic and compelling way to tell a story which conveyed a human-centric, powerful message. It was in an unspoken and unwritten way. There was no words, there was no spoken words throughout the entire film. And Sydney and Socket shine a light on the beauty of diversity and inclusion. That was an important message for me to convey. In the film, there's like these two opposite beings, a rusty robot and an elegant swan. And they're both outcasts of sorts. The swan is Sydney. Sydney can't fly. And Socket is the robot. Socket is unable to his productivity fell short. And they've both been left alone in other parts of this area. This geography was a forest and kind of alongside a lake. But they were left behind by their communities, and they felt alone in the world. And it's basically a tale of two misfits that are forgotten, and yet they unexpectedly cross paths. I was able to tell this story during an 8-week course. Now granted, I'll be honest, I did spend a lot of extra time because I wanted to get the most out of the course. And in the end, I was able to push the story and show that they struck up an indelible friendship. And my message really was that sometimes when you think you're alone in this world, that's when magic can happen. And I did decide to really find a way to show that they belong in their own little community, no matter where they came from, no matter what their background was, or where, quite frankly, their capabilities fell short. If they couldn't fly, or if their productivity as a robot fell short. They became each other's community and kind of each other's best friends. I also wanted to mention that CG Pro provided this course so that I could learn a new way of telling stories. And my film had tremendous support by the instructors. I really did push every little module that we learned. And in one specific area, I decided to really play with the lighting module that they taught us, with setting up the light rigs. And I wanted to use it as a way to tell the passage of time, to use it in the storytelling as almost a supportive character. So I used these different light rigs, and I really received a lot of support from the instructors. And each scene kind of contained different ways to tell the story of the passage of time. And for one specific scene, I had actually animated the sun with quite distinctive movement, and you can see the sun's casting a shadow across the frame, suggesting that there was quite a bit of passage of time. And Sydney the swan was just wandering aimlessly through the forest. What am I going to do? And then the day turned into night. So again, this was a non-verbal way to convey the emotion of the story, but I used what I learned in the course, the lighting rig, to basically emulate Sydney's emotion, which was the despair representing the light turning into the darkness. So at nighttime, when Sydney thinks it's all alone, it's very, very dark. So I used that as a supportive network to tell my story. Right off the bat, I need to speak to you candidly. My experience with CG Pro was unbelievable. The staff, the faculty, the instructors, they're the gold standard of an Ivy League, in my opinion, Ivy League level of computer graphics instruction and education. They set the bar, they set the standard. And I feel that the level of expertise held by the instructors, as well as the guest speakers, are some of the most knowledgeable people in the industry. The student support that we received at CG Pro is unmeasured. They encouraged questions. The instructors were eager to help. The depth and broad range of different skill sets across the instructions was truly impressive. They spoke about updates even with the software, about upcoming releases so they could keep us informed what was next on the horizon. I would say the level of expertise by these instructors is nothing I've ever experienced. What set CG Pro apart particularly was the brilliance in how they designed the program. They made learning fun. They created a course where I was able to create something, a short film, that I was excited about, passionate about, a story I've always wanted to tell, and to inspire, which my objective was to inspire people to connect and to never give up hope when they're feeling alone in this world. So that was my inspiration. I wanted to tell a story and create a compelling film while I was learning the software. And the instructor support throughout the process of making my film and during the course was what made this possible. While learning to start, it was encouraged to work from a broad strokes approach, meaning like broad brush strokes, and refine the story and take it up a level each time you had an iteration. And I was able to start with broad strokes, just basically compositional shapes, and then I was able to refine with meticulous granularity that often is like with fine brush strokes being added in a painting. And that helped me to bring the story and evolve it from each shot, from a blocked-in state to a finished state. The way it worked, it was really interesting. They would have Sunday classes as well as midweek labs and guest speakers. They all occurred on Zoom. The class recordings were also provided to students later. That also enabled transcription, and we could word search. So if there was something specifically that you would like to see a little bit at a slower pace, or you would like to review it, you could word search the video and watch that part of the video instantly, as many times as you want, and so you can get the most out of learning. In addition, the students were encouraged to ask questions on our Facebook group. We have a specific Facebook group for our particular group, and we received numerous amount of support to our questions. And these were support offered outside of class. I just have to say, the instructors are even located in other parts of the world. I felt like they had my back at all times. And sometimes I would post a question at the end of a day, and often there would be an answer before I went to bed. But sometimes I liked it when I could wake up and I'd see the answer right there, and I could hit the ground running and resume my project right from that answer. So that was really encouraging. I should also mention the camaraderie among the students was fantastic. Everyone helped one another, and it was quite impressive to watch the talent pool among our group of students. It was world class. And as a first-time filmmaker, CG Pro made my dream of creating a short film possible. I can't recommend CG Pro enough. Not only will your creativity flourish, but you are going to learn groundbreaking tools by world-class instructors. Enjoy, good luck with your film, and have a blast in the class.